Hi, and welcome to Everlaw. My name is Alex, and I'm on the user education team. In this quick start video, we'll be learning about productions. By the end, you should be able to create a production protocol, add production criteria, and finally, run and share a production. If you're interested in modifying a previous production, check out this resource. A production in Everlaw is based on what we call a protocol. Think of it as your set of instructions. We'll create a protocol which will include all of the settings needed to produce documents in accordance to our ESI protocol, and then tell Everlaw which set of documents to produce with those instructions. This will in turn create new documents on the platform that will be bait stamped and have our redactions burned in. Our first step is selecting the protocol template. We will start with the Everlaw default, but choose the one that fits your workflows. Now select the production criteria. This will be the set of documents you want to produce. If you know which documents you want to produce, create the search now. Otherwise, it can be done at any point in the future. The production details page includes naming the protocol. Remember, this is the name of the reusable set of instructions, not the actual production name. We can also create our baits prefix and adjust how many zeros we need in our numbering. In this step, we will choose our image details. We recommend producing in PDF if possible, but TIFF is also available when needed. Decide where the bait stamp should be on the document and add endorsements. These can be things like a confidentiality status added to each document. If you have redactions on your documents, make sure to select to include the redactions on this page. By default, natives will be included for documents that don't have images such as spreadsheets and audio-video files. In Everlaw, even privileged documents can be included in the production set because you can withhold them from the production based on rules created here. Including privileged documents in your production set can help you keep your document sets organized. It also allows you to easily create a privilege log, which we'll configure in a later step. For example, if you're withholding documents based on privilege, add a rule and search for the code you've been using to identify them as privileged. They'll be assigned a baits number and an image placeholder on production. This will show you any documents that have an image placeholder. These will include withheld documents and anything that is produced in its native format. A load file is a spreadsheet that provides metadata for each produced document. It's important if the receiving party will be using an e-discovery platform for review. When you choose to include load files, you'll select which fields you'd like to include. You can click on the set of Everlaw defaults to include commonly used fields. You can also search for specific fields you'd like to include, like any special fields negotiated in an ESI protocol. Hover over the eye icon to see a description of each field to make sure you're selecting the correct one. If needed, you can click on the field name to rename it. There are a few useful options in the additional options step. First is the ability to create a privilege log. This allows you to create a spreadsheet with any information you choose to include about your withheld documents. Additionally, you can choose to migrate your review work from the native documents to the produced versions you're creating. This includes codes and annotations, like highlights. This information will not be present or visible on the copies of the documents that you download or share via email or link outside of Everlaw. They're only visible on your internal copies of these documents. The summary page lets you double check all the choices that you've made when you created the protocol. If you're happy with them, you can hit save. Otherwise, you can click previous to edit the protocol. To complete a production, you need to make sure you have set your production criteria, the set of documents you want to produce. If you didn't do this step at the beginning, you can do it now by clicking Create Production Criteria. Everlaw runs quality assurance checks across your production to make sure the production is ready to run. Some warnings are related to your protocol, and others are related to a set of documents you're producing. Everlaw will give recommendations on how to resolve specific QA warnings, but the ultimate decision on your protocol settings and what documents to include or exclude is up to you. Once you've addressed the QA warnings, you can run your production. When your production is complete, you've created new, bait-stamped versions of your documents. You can share your production in two main ways. You can choose to download it locally and then share it using external tools like a USB drive. Or you can choose to share it through the cloud. When you select to share through the cloud, you can either email the production directly to specified email addresses, or you can create a link that can be shared with anyone. When you're running a search for a production, you can look for just the newly created produced versions, the original versions, or both. You can always click into the versions context to click back and forth between the original native version and the produced version. To get more trainings on productions, including how to claw back documents through a production modification, click on the link in the upper right corner. Thanks for watching this quick start video, and good luck on your next production.